Hey, what's up, guys? Ishan here, and you're listening to the Flopped Artist podcast. We're here with the second part for the Iron Man character essay. Last time we left it off at discussing the Age of Ultron. We left it in the middle because I guess we got bored. No, we didn't. But we didn't get bored. But I think it was getting a little too long, so we thought that we'd give it a break, continue again. So why don't you continue with whatever's going on? I'll follow.
Yeah, so we are discussing Iron Man's character. So we have discussed Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, Avengers, the first Iron Man 3, and now we have come to Age of Ultron. Tony's journey has been through a lot of ups and downs, and as we have a small recap of the previous episode is that there's definitely more than Tony to just his suit. He has a redemption arc. Along with his genius, there's this his intellect has also a curse of him fighting his own demons. And we were talking about Age of Ultron where we left it off, saying that Age of Ultron doesn't do much about Tony's character per se. There's one thing I would like to say. It really shows off one part of Tony's character that has always been there, which is the responsibility that he takes, that he feels is on him. Mm-hmm. In Age of Ultron, it's his responsibility to save the Avengers at all costs, and that's what he's trying to do.
Yeah. And I think it's not just the Avengers, it's the entire world. After his trip to the wormhole and to the space, where he sees these biggest threats that exist, when he realizes that the universe just got way bigger than he could imagine, he creates Ultron, this armor around the world, this AI that would protect the world. So it's a reflection of what Scarlet Witch shows him in his mind, that all the Avengers are dead. He couldn't save them. That puts him in a way on a path where he creates Ultron. It goes south, I think, for more than one reasons. I mean, obviously it's a human error. He doesn't do it on purpose. Again, there is that ongoing theme of redemption, self-sacrifice that goes on in his character. That's about it. He does feel a bit overpowered. The only way Ultron defeats Iron Man is by being a step ahead of him. I would like to discuss these two other movies that made Tony Stark great again: Civil War and Homecoming.
In Civil War, so we are seeing the after effects of Age of Ultron. I mean, put yourself in place of Tony. Since he's created all these weapons, all he's trying to do is now he's thinking like, I'll use the technology and everything that I've built for good. Tony is kind of broken. The only thing keeping him together, Pepper, has also left him.
Yeah.
It's triggered by this woman who blames him for the death of his child.
Yeah.
His name was Charlie Spencer. You murdered him in Sokovia. Not that matters in the least to you. You think you fight for us? You just fight for yourself. Who's going to avenge my son, Stark? He's dead, and I blame you.
So overall, just a brief introduction of Civil War. I think Civil War is the best character-driven movie for Iron Man as well as Captain America. It's completely different. Iron Man that has seen all these years, and now he's taking this decision of going in favor of the government, like signing the Sokovia Accords.
Yeah. The Iron Man storyline in Civil War is driven because of that one conversation. It just shatters him, and I think that is both devastating and beautiful at the same time. And I feel that it's like the audiences are the only people who know Tony Stark had to look into the eyes of this woman and hear those words that I blame you for the death of my child. It's like Tony Stark has been only candid with the audiences. And even on the airport battle scene where he meets Captain America for the first time, he said like, I'm just trying to keep the Avengers together. And you see that expression.
Hey everyone.
Good job. You've been busy.
And you've been a complete idiot. Dragging in Clint, rescuing Wanda from a place she doesn't even want to leave, a safe place. I'm trying to keep you from tearing the Avengers apart.
You did that when you signed.
All right, we're done. You're gonna turn Barnes over, you're gonna come with us. Now, because it's us. We're a squad of JSOC guys with no compunction about being impolite.
you just see that expression, how broken and how helpless Tony Stark feels. It's like, please don't do this because I want us to be together. That just breaks him. And the way Captain America is being stubborn for the simple reasons of protecting Bucky, protecting what he feels is right. It just feels, at times it feels selfish to me. I think Tony Stark goes through has this trinity of three most impacting things in his life. A, it's Captain America. B, it's Spider-Man. And C, it's Thanos. So I would discuss the first one over here in Civil War, the second one in Homecoming, and third in Infinity Wars and Endgame together. So the first one, Captain America, I think the way he challenges Tony Stark all the time to be a better person is just great. Captain America obviously is a better human being than Iron Man and than Tony Stark. He has lesser character flaws. He is not without flaws, but he's a better human being, we would say that. The way he challenges Tony on every level is like, no, this is not right, this is wrong, this is not right. That I think helps Tony become a better person eventually. So I think Captain America is a very important driving force, as we talked in the last video, where Tony Stark himself wants that fatherly figure, has that feeling towards Captain America, is that I want you to appreciate me, I want you to like me, basically. That plays up in the Civil War factor. So Captain Steve Rogers' approval for Tony Stark, without having ever being said it, is important.
There's so many things to say. No matter how much we say it, it's not going to be enough about these two. The difference between their,
The ideologies.
But we'll keep Iron Man's point of view. So he's absolutely right, because one of the things is, one of the main important dialogues in the movie is that what Tony Stark tells Peter Parker, tells him, when you're good, when you're wrong, but you think that you're right, makes you dangerous.
Stark tell you anything else?
That you're wrong, you think you're right, that makes you dangerous.
Right? So I think Tony Stark sees that Captain America in his mind is thinking, yeah, I'm doing the right thing. But while he's thinking that, the extent at which he is going is needs to be put in check.
Yeah.
So that's one of the valid points that he has, that Captain isn't ready to understand.
Yeah.
And emotionally, it is such an amazing journey of Tony Stark to see, firstly, his arrogance melt away and to see him so humble. Also, he tries his best to keep them together. He tries to convince Captain, right? That's also an amazing thing to see. Secondly, in the end, he admits that, yeah, I was wrong, when he admits to Falcon. That's also something very, very good that is shown. So Civil War is such an amazing movie. We can't say it enough. But the character arc that is shown of Tony Stark is just amazing.
What I feel really interesting about Civil War is it's not just a story of superheroes. It's a story of relationships and friendships and characters really being human. As I've always pointed out, that MCU rarely gets its credit for being a very human universe, where these characters tend to be more human that we give them credit for. We just always think they're making fun, they're having these quirks, they're joking around even in the fights. I think Civil War really puts you in a very, like, all these characters, all of them are so vulnerable. They are so affected by this one thing, this one Sokovia Accords. It's completely destroys the most powerful group in the world, in the universe. So that is just amazing how one thing can just have a huge impact, not just in these characters' life, but even in human lives. Something happens, the friendships break, relationships break, families break. So it's really a reflection on understanding as to what and how things can be. I don't want to get into Civil War way too much, because it's, again, as we said, it's for a different episode. Yeah. But coming back to Tony Stark, I think when in Civil War, the bullet points that I would put for Tony Stark is humbled, heartbroken, humbled. That's all that happens to him. He does not get that overpowered treatment. He does not get that I'm invincible treatment. There is no redemption arc in this. He is just there is a very tiny bit of it, but he has not done anything in arrogance. He is just trying to put a point across to his friend that we need to do this for the better of the world. His actions accidentally cause his best friend to be paralyzed from waist down. He is responsible for it.
Yeah.
So that again humbled. And that fight in the end, that hand-to-hand combat in the end, I wouldn't have imagined that happening in a movie so beautifully. The way it starts, the way it begins, the ascension of it is so beautiful, is because the way Zemo brings these three key characters of Civil War to one place and then exposes all of them.
Yeah.
Bucky's murder, like Bucky as a murderer, Captain America as a liar, and Iron Man as a character that's driven by rage.
Yeah.
He exposes the three of them, and all three of them are at their villainous best in the end of Civil War. They're all wrong, and they're all acting as humans. All of them are wrong. None of them are right. I would say that right now. None of them. For me, none of them are right. Tony Stark is not right. Bucky is not right. Steve Rogers is not right. None of them. They are all acting for their selfish reasons. Captain America for Bucky, because he is the last string that is attached to his past.
Yeah.
Bucky because he has an excuse where he was under the influence of Hydra. Tony Stark because he's angry. Sees his mother and father being killed. Of course he's going to react that way. Of course he's going to, just start going at people who feel have betrayed him, people who think they were his friends. And he says, Captain America says, he's my friend. And the most heartbreaking line of MCU is after I don't want to go from Peter Parker is, so was I.
He's my friend. So was I.
That just breaks your heart.
Yeah, it really does, and I think you feel sorry for Tony Stark in Civil War. You really, really do. I mean, what more can he do right? Or everything that people say that he's wrong. He's self-centered. He is arrogant, and he doesn't take responsibility. He does whatever he wants. That's what all the things that have been said about Tony Stark by Steve Rogers, by the people in the Marvel universe. What more can he do? And look where it gets him.
Yeah, exactly. He tries to be what other people are trying him to be, trying to make him, and what happens?
Look where it gets him. He loses. Natasha betrays him.
Yeah.
He trusts her. She betrays him. Not only he's proven wrong that while by signing on the Accords, he realized that it could have been a bad decision. All right, no worries. That's he. Okay. He's betrayed by Captain, who hides the truth from him.
Yeah.
Captain was his best friend. Like, he was literally his best friend.
Yeah.
There's obviously War Machine, Rhodes, but still, and he also loses. Like Rhodes, when you see your best friend, right? He's like your strength. He gives you support, and when you see him in that condition, it also he takes your moral down.
Yeah.
So you just kind of feel sorry for him, and he had every right to say what he says in the end to Captain America. Like, you don't deserve that shield.
That shield doesn't belong to you. You don't deserve it. My father made that shield.
Like, there's nothing between us anymore.
Yeah.
Don't take that. That's mine.
Yeah.
Don't take it.
And you see that expression when Steve Rogers rips his helmet off.
Yeah.
That expression is filled with so many things. It's anger, it's betrayal, it's sadness. It's like, did I just lose everything? That is such an amazing, and RDJ does not get enough credit. I mean, he does get the credit, but I think he deserves more. So, because other than just being funny and other than just being stylish and charismatic, there are so many things that RDJ has done right. He has been likable when he needs to. He has been unlikable when he needs to. He has been sympathetic when he needs to. And he has been broken when he needs to. And he does all of them brilliantly.
Yeah. RDJ and also the people that they definitely get credit, but they need to be mentioned, the Russos. I mean, we knew before Ant-Man, we didn't knew superheroes movies could be this good.
Yeah.
But Russo showed us how good it can be. I mean, that is the template. I mean, DC should firstly. While we're talking, I really want to watch Civil War once again.
Yeah.
And DC should look at it. It's not about a movie with just made to put these and like it's not a movie made to make situations to make Iron Man and Captain America fight. It's not like that. It's just so thought provoking, and they too represent the two ideologies in the world. And a lot of people also say that it's influenced by the current political situation in America. That's another thing
with the red and blue.
But but as I said, it's just great storytelling.
Civil War, I think, is the most important film in the MCU until date, just behind Infinity Wars and Endgame. So kudos to that, kudos to the Russos, kudos to the writers, Kevin Feige, the actors, the technicians that worked on it, that made these amazing visuals. I think Civil War has one of the best comic book covers coming to life moments in the end. So yeah, I think we're getting a little off track. Not talking about Tony Stark. I'm sorry. So about Tony Stark in Civil War, he loses everything. He, as I said, that humble pie. He doesn't just eat it; it's just thrown in his face. A lot of bad things happen to Tony Stark. That humble pie is thrown in his face repeatedly throughout the movie, and I think it's sad, but one of the most beautiful story arcs and character arcs that could ever exist.
Glad that Tony Stark, Iron Man got this storyline that really is something that we can cherish for generations. Now moving on to Homecoming. I think the next movie was Homecoming, right? It's a completely different movie. It's Peter Parker Spider-Man centered, but there are shades of Tony Stark, and it's not really in continuity to what has been going on in his life. It's just his role in the life of Spider-Man.
I think there is. There is a continuity, because as I said, redemption. There's a redemption arc even in Homecoming for Tony Stark. He makes this mistake of giving this overpowered suit to this kid who barely has any fighting experience, who's just starting out to be this hero that he wants to be. So he makes that mistake. It's not a mistake, but it's an irresponsible move on his part. Obviously, he does protect him. He makes sure that he doesn't get in harm's way, stops him where he needs to be stopped, puts an end to his fighting. But in Homecoming, I think Tony Stark becomes more of that responsible person. As we discussed in the past, Captain America forced him to be that better person. Peter Parker unknowingly forces him to be a more responsible person. So as I said, these three characters that have really affected him. In Homecoming, I think he has this responsibility of being this surrogate parent, right? Where he is really worried that Peter Parker doesn't get in any harm's way. Because you know what he says? Don't do anything that I would do. And definitely do that I would do. Something like that. And then there's a thin grey line where you're supposed to be. So I think Tony Stark just wants this kid to be safe, right? And I think Peter Parker is just such an amazing and perfect person to take Tony Stark's place once he retires or dies in Endgame, because he is this genius who has this heroic feeling inside him, who wants to do big things, better things for the world. But it wouldn't have been justice if some other actor or some other character would have taken Tony Stark's place as the new Iron Man. It wouldn't have been the right justice. Putting Peter Parker in that place makes Iron Man more relevant, makes him more important, because that throne of the king of MCU, the godfather of MCU, is very important. Being there, like Tony Stark, is all present in every movie almost. At least his name is there. So Peter Parker is the perfect candidate to be the next Godfather.
Yeah, but do you really think that Peter Parker is going to take Iron Man's place? I mean, in what way are you saying? Because
I think he's going to take his place in the terms of being the heart and soul of MCU.
okay,
In terms that he's going to be the one who defines the MCU with great stories.
I see. Basically, you're saying that the next generation of MCU is
Yeah.
being led by.
Yeah.
It's going to be led by Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that would definitely be cool because it'd be like Tony Stark is passing the torch to Spider-Man. That's what you're saying.
Exactly. Peter Parker is the perfect candidate for that. He's young still, so he can have all these stories, this journey ahead of him. He has this journey ahead of him. He has a budding romance going on with this girl, MJ. He has the understanding of technology. He has the understanding of what's right and wrong. He can differentiate. He is open to making mistakes.
Yeah.
Like Tony Stark is open to making mistakes and then correcting them. I think he's the perfect heir to Tony Stark as a character. The character with similar flaws. Just like Black Panther is the perfect heir to Captain America.
Yeah.
It's like that for me. And for Tony Stark to have this protege, mentor him, give him life lessons. I think he is just moving on in his life, where he's ready to have this family. He's ready to become a family man, give life lessons, stuff like that. So for me, Homecoming is more of a feel-good movie where Tony Stark gets to have fun, gets to teach some kid a lesson.
Yeah.
Instead of somebody teaching him a lesson as usual.
Yeah, right. It's really a different take, and it's about time Tony has some personal growth in his life, and it's good to see Tony Stark as a father figure to Peter Parker. That's one of the great things. So, right. Anything else that you want to say about Homecoming?
I have so much to say about Infinity Wars and Endgame, to be fair, that connects to this movie, but as we have decided, all the character essays should end before Infinity Wars, because doing those two movies together is important. So I think that's about it for Tony Stark's character arc up till now, which is going to grow even more in the next two movies, Infinity Wars and Endgame. So for me, I think if I were to summarize Tony Stark's character arc in a few words, it would be like driven by anger, always a redemption angle over there, has his ass kicked, comes back stronger, ready to face problems, human issues that always surround him. So I think it's a very human character for me. It seems larger than life, but at the end it's just a human character.
I for the life of me, I can't sum it up in the few words as you did, but I don't know. For me, Tony Stark is an inspiration. As I said in the first part, he is for me the soul of Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I absolutely love him. I'm a big fan. I might in the future episodes, because I love Captain America so much, I might come across as someone who doesn't like Iron Man that much, but he's really been one of my inspirations while watching all the movies. I've learned so much from him, and I think I love the arrogance that he has, because
He deserves it.
he deserves it. There is wherever there's genius, there's a bit of arrogance. You can see that there are examples in real life. That's completely justified, and I think I look at it as his confidence. His belief is
Of course,
that is
he's
what I take from
Yeah.
Tony Stark's character.
And I have praised him before, and I will praise him again in the end, is that RDJ is the perfect Iron Man. There could have been no person, and there will be no person who can take his place. The most perfect. The perfect is just, I think, an understatement for me, because nobody can take RDJ's place as Iron Man, because I think he was born to play this character.
Yeah.
So, great thing. I mean, I'm really thankful to the MCU for bringing Iron Man in our life, for bringing Captain America, for all these characters. But Iron Man has taught me so many things in my life. So I think in coming to Endgame and coming to Infinity Wars, I have cried a lot during Infinity Wars. I'm going to cry a lot in Endgame for sure, no matter what happens. But it's been an emotional journey. It really makes you connect, and that's what I talk about. I've been telling you that these are human stories, and that's why we connect to them. These are not just larger than life superhero movies. These are human stories with human problems.
Yeah, so even though they are superheroes, we can all relate to them. I think that's really beautiful.
Yeah.
So we are prepared for him to see him in
his end game.
Yeah.
And that's about it. I don't want to talk about it because it makes me a little giddy. It makes me feel nervous. So let us know what you guys think of Iron Man and his story arc. What do you think about RDJ, and what do you think is going to be Iron Man's endgame? Thank you for listening. Like the video if you have liked it, share it if you want to share it with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. We're coming up with new content every week, so hope you guys enjoyed.
Yeah, do let us know your thoughts in the comments. We are really looking forward to your point of view on Iron Man's character, the whole journey, everything that we said. If you disagree, please let it out in the comments. We are looking forward to it, and that's about it for now. We'll be back with I guess we'll be back with
Thor. Yeah, Thor is the next one.
Great. So see you guys in the next one.
Peace.